have all kinds of,
Yeah.
we've got to have all of that in place and kind of signatures and risks and all of things signed off before any of that goes ahead. So I'd be keen to see,
Okay. So
how far we can take it.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. We'll start with some easy stuff. I'm going to just share my screen here quickly. And actually, yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so the tutorials that we've spoken about so far up to now, if you haven't been with us before, you missed a whole bunch of stuff in terms of prompt engineering, GPTs, Canva AI, Google Workspace and Microsoft Copilot, ChatHub, Perplexity, Gamma, InVideo, 11 Labs. Went through some very cool stuff. So today we're on the AI and spreadsheets module. So we'll talk about some cool stuff in that. So GPT for Sheets. There's actually quite a few tools like this. I just want to get a couple of you, because I can't see this my screen very clearly. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so GPT for Sheets is something that actually works inside of your Google Sheets or your Google or your Microsoft Excel. So it pulls, instead of you having to go to ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or one of those, you could actually pull that, connect to it via your API keys that you get from those places. And we'll talk about that. Remind me to actually mention that, how you do that a little bit later. And then if you start typing inside of your regular spreadsheet, so you, for instance, give it a prompt like this, write me a tagline for a car shop, and I've already got the extension installed, which I'll show you just now how to do that. Then basically, if you start the same way that you start with a lot of Excel or spreadsheets formulas, is you type the equal sign, and in this case, you would type GPT and an open bracket, and that gives you a whole bunch of options that you can then do with your GPT. So you saw that I referred to that prompt in the cell above it, and then the AI writes, "Drive away with the best deals at your car shop." So that's pretty cool to do it that way. Or something else that you can say, okay, you write a second prompt and you say, include a joke. Now, when I refer the AI to that, I refer to both of those cells, and now it includes a joke for me: drive away with a smile. Our cars are so reliable, you won't even need a tow truck. Not very funny, but we are in Excel, so it's okay to just have a dry sense of humor. Then if you want to change your prompt, say, for instance, write 3 taglines for an ice cream shop. And again, once you type the GPT, you actually see a drop-down menu, and there's a bunch of things that you can ask it to do. So you can just put in a tag like the ones we just did, or you can ask it to write some code, or to edit, or to fill, or list, or to create a table, or convert. I'll show you a couple of these as we go on. And in this case, I'm asking for a list because I said 3 taglines. And there you go. You'll see it loads up, and it actually puts it into 3 different cells, the list of three different things. So here's another example. So if you, for instance, have got a list already and you have started cleaning up these emails, a lot of times when you collect emails, people fill it in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. And you need to get it consistent if you're going to feed it into your MailChimp or one of those sort of things. And you start by cleaning it up. Then you use that same sort of sequence by just typing GPT fill. So do the same function that I started doing there, do it for the rest of these. And GPT for Sheets will basically load that up and do it for everything else that you haven't done so far. So it's very nice. It cleans your whole list for you. So that's just another example. Here's another way that you can use fill. If you, for instance, have started a spreadsheet, here's the products on the left, a description, and then tags. You can say GPT fill again, and then you show it, you refer it to the example above, and you ask it to complete the list for you. And it knows, because you referred to both column T and U, to fill both of those columns with the appropriate information. So very smart. Another way, you could just tell it to create a table. So for instance, in this case, you say maybe a table of fruits, or 3 different types of fruits with their nutrition data in it. So now it knows to create a table and not just a list, and it will automatically create the columns as well as the rows, and produce that for you. Another way that you can work with GPT for Sheets is to use Translate. So for instance, if you say, I want that translated, you put in the target language, as being Spanish in this case, and it translates it for you. And you can think about, I'm showing you sort of single places where you can do it, but if you have a whole spreadsheet of different cells that you need translated, it makes it a lot easier and quicker. Here's another example. If you want to sort of break up, or you want to extract some data out of a line. So for instance, you say, I want you to break it up for me into a state, a country, a street, and a whatever it is you want from the single line that people have typed in. And then you can just say extract the data. And again, then you refer to the top cell where that information lies. And then you show it the cell below it so that it understands you want the state from that information, and it extracts that data for you. So this is a very simple example. And if you know Excel, you're probably going to say, yeah, but I could do that with concatenate, or I could split what data to text, or one of those functions. And then, for instance, it obviously can edit your text and just fix your spelling mistakes for you, writing with some mistakes, and it fixes that for you. So it's a pretty cool tool. This is a GPT for Sheets. And then you get a GPT for Excel, and you even get a GPT for Docs and everything. So a practical example that I actually put together is we did a demo or a example for people in the e-commerce world. So that it's people who are on Takealot or Amazon or whatever it is. They often have to create these elaborate spreadsheets that they have to upload for their listings on Amazon. And this is how the AI can help with that. So let's say, for instance, you got this, you buy from a supplier, and they send you all of this list of all the products that you got, and you got all of the columns there explaining to the item length, the capacity, the item width. So it just describes the product, but you need something on your sales page that is actually going to sell this thing, and that the customers or your consumers will actually see on the website. So for instance, if you take that column over there, and you wanted to write the product name into that cell. So sorry, this is actually, sorry, it jumps a bit around, but this is how you would find the extension into your sheet once you've installed it. And you just open up GPT for Sheets, and then on the sidebar here, it'll actually pop up, and so you know that it's installed. And then all your settings and things are in there. And then if you go to the menu, there's the API keys. So these API keys is basically what you either get from OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. You go fetch the API key there if you don't know how to do it. We'll talk about it just now. Or you can go to Anthropic, or whichever one is your favorite, and you just install it there, and then you can start working with this with those large language models. So I just typed in at the top here a prompt. So write a product name for a marketplace listing that is SEO optimized. And then I put the formula in there, referring to the prompt, and then referring to all the information about that product on the left-hand side. So obviously it's got those usual sort of things, but I just used a regular GPT at the top with a prompt, and then select all of the information from the beginning of that Fozzie's product that has the brand name and all that sort of stuff. I just sort of select it right across, and then I hit enter. As you see the formula at the top there, and there you can see it's loading, and it's busy writing, and there it's written the product name that I will then use for my listing. And then I can carry on like that. Once you've done one, as you know, in Excel, if you drag and drop a formula, it'll do the rest of the spreadsheet for you. So I write a second prompt in there, write me a product description for a marketplace listing that is SEO optimized. If I drag that across, it's now going to refer to the one, the next prompt, and now it writes the whole product description, again, based on all that information I got on the left-hand side there. So pretty cool. Carry on. You can get your product features, your search terms, all now, because I've already got my formula. All I need to do is type in my prompts, and I drag that across, and it'll do my key product features and search terms all for me very quickly. And if you've ever sold on Amazon or Takealot, you know this sort of stuff takes quite a long time to do. And then for the rest of your table, you could just copy it down, drag it down, and it'll load it up, and it'll give you all of that information that you need. You see, so it works good. Actually, it's can be a massive time saver in this regard. I'm quickly going to just sort of pop out of this and stop sharing so I can see you guys, because for some reason I can't see anybody. Any comments or questions about what I've just shown you, or ideas? That hopefully some ideas come as I'm speaking.
I see that you're putting in formulas and things, isn't it? With Copilot in Microsoft, isn't it automatically? There's a Copilot icon there in Microsoft Excel, and can't you just refer to that and automate it from there?
If you're talking about finding formulas from, to work with regular, I know you can go, if you don't know what is the right Excel formula, old styles formula, you can go and ask ChatGPT what is the right formula to use. But if it's, in this case, that extension, what it does, it adds a bunch of formulas to the capacity, or the capacity that the spreadsheet has. So it's got all of these extra things in now, like fill and it can write, it translate, and it can do all of that fancy stuff for you. So it's a new bunch of formulas that weren't in ChatGPT or weren't in the spreadsheet before.
But it takes you do a lot more detail than just a basic spreadsheet with Gemini or Copilot.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There's it basically is what it does. It just brings the chatbot into your spreadsheet, so you can work with it there, and then you get the combination of a very powerful piece of tool called Excel that most people probably only use 5% of Excel, but you combine the full functionality of Excel with AI, and it becomes a super tool.
So an example, Quentin, if your financial person brings you a whole pack of spreadsheets like they love to do, and you said, no, I just want a summary of this P&L for month end, don't give me a phone book, you know what I mean? Then you could use these tools to say, okay, summarize sales, your P&L, all your costs, your cost of sales, and your margins and tax. You could use this to actually simplify your P&L. Is that something that a practical example?
Yeah, I've got a different tool that I quickly want to show you, where you can actually do that with an analytics, something that is specifically for analytics. I think the one that I just showed you is more sort of generative. It's creating stuff in your spreadsheet, but for analytics, I'll show you a different one. Any other questions or comments or wisdom? Is
Okay.
Yes, Brenda.
I just wanted to find out, because it seems like the way we are doing these changes is on Google Sheets. Can you do that on Microsoft Excel, the one on 365.
Yeah, you get GPT for Sheets and you get GPT for Excel. You just need to find the right extension to install. Okay, cool. Let me show you another quick cool tool that I know of. I'll just want to show you another sort of a use case. This is quite a complex spreadsheet that somebody has created that will create. You can fill in the information, and it's using GPT for Sheets. In other words, it's using the AI to populate the whole business plan for you. So if you see at the bottom, AI for work plan, this is the information that you add in. So you can add in a bunch of information about a business that you want to start, and then it'll ask you all of this information about this business, or you could say you want this stuff written in a business plan format. Then it'll pull it across into another worksheet, and it'll actually write the whole. You see, with all of those headings, the AI will write all of that information for you about your business. So you can see, so you can type in something up there. I just wrote AI business consultant. And then what it does, it's going to actually, the AI is going to use those formulas that are now built into the spreadsheet. You can say, you tell it whether you want a customer profile or what all the stuff that you want, and it writes this whole thing out for you. So on this left-hand side, it's just populating all of those cells for you. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see that it basically has written the whole plan for you. It's made an error there in one place, but it gives you all of this information about your the business plan that you are writing using the AI. So as you could see, you know how people come up with like very complicated spreadsheets. Can you imagine what you could do if you put an AI on top of it? Okay, so just to show you quickly, within Google Workspace and Microsoft Copilot, the stuff that they're doing in Excel, for instance, if I just play this over here, actually I'm going to not play the whole thing because you guys have probably seen this before. I want to jump to just the Excel part of it. Build a presentation, you know, it does that. So for instance, here, if you come to which is Microsoft Excel now, sorry, am I now Excel or Google Workspace? These two look identical, this information. I think it was Google Workspace. But anyway, so how this is being used is you've got a list of email addresses from clients, and then you've got hopefully a bunch of other information. And then you ask the AI to customize your emails to those people based on the information that you have it. So you get personalized emails being written pretty quickly and smartly. So you can see there, each person's email looks different. So that's pretty clever over there. And then here's another example. For instance, this is also an Excel, Google Spreadsheets. So for instance, here's what you were talking about, Gary, where you could say, analyze this data for me. And then it gives you, oh, this is Copilot, yeah. Give me key trends, sales and trending for all customers, except Prosware, which is this company is down for the year or for the quarter. Manufacturing costs are down. And then, yeah, you can ask more questions about this spreadsheet. So if you say, show me a breakdown of the sales growth, it'll analyze the data for you, and it'll actually create a separate spreadsheet, which is like a sandbox effect, where it actually will write that for you. And then if you look on the right-hand side, you can say, help me visualize what contributed to the decline in growth, and it creates a visualization. What would happen if the reusable containers had maintained the prior year's growth? It gives you an answer. So it can actually create visuals, answer your questions. It can do all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff for you with its analytics capability. So this is in Copilot, the paid version. So I haven't actually had a chance to play with it. This is sort of a demo thing that I've just kind of recorded. But you can see you can add that to your grid now. It creates this a full spreadsheet for you, which you can then give to your boss if he asks you to analyze it for you. And that's sort of how that's being incorporated. Another way that you can use Google Sheets right now is you can say, just create for me a table. So in this case, it says, plan a solo trip to Iceland. Sorry, this is a repetitive a GIF file, but basically it's saying, plan a solo trip to Iceland for 7 full days that includes hiking, and it literally will create that, and you can insert that into, so it helps you build this whole spreadsheet. Another way that you can say, give me an agenda for a 1-day sales conference with session descriptions, and it creates its whole spreadsheets formatted, all nice and pretty, and very logical as well. So these are the tools I was talking about. ChatGPT for Excel, ChatGPT for Sheets, GPT for Excel, GPT for Sheets. Those are different ones. There's another tool called Rose.com, which is start getting into analytics, and then Numerous AI is another one that's pretty good. Then there's, for those of you who've been in ChatGPT for a while, you'll probably know that there used to be a tool called Code Interpreter, and they changed the name to Advanced Analytics. So for instance, if I have a spreadsheet like this, so I've got tons and tons of information. This is information about sales at a superstore. What I can do is I can go to ChatGPT, just check if my beta feature is on. It's called Advanced Data Analysis. Make sure it's switched on, and it actually make sure you got GPT-4, the paid version, and then you can start feeding that information into ChatGPT. You can upload your spreadsheet, your file. So it's a CSV file that I'm uploading. Remember, with all of that information, all the rows and the columns of sales of the superstore, and then I can start talking to the AI about this spreadsheet. So I can say, what analysis can you do with this data? So even if I don't know what to ask, I'm saying, you tell me, what can I do with this data? And if you have a look at that, you said to get a better understanding, it tells me to get a better understanding of what the data contains, let's start by taking a look at all the rows. So now it's just looking through all of that information, and it's understanding what information I fed it, that it can then start creating analysis for me. And then it can even tell me where there's something wrong with the file. It appears that there's also an unnamed column, but it's not going to stop there. It actually just notifies me that there's a fault in the data sheet. And then it tells me I can do sales analysis, profit analysis, customer behavior, geographical analysis, gives me some examples of things that it can do. And it says, would you like me to do any of these? And I go, okay, do an analysis of sales by category, by subcategory, and state. And then it starts analyzing that data. It tells me the steps it's going to go through to do this analysis. And the first one it's going to do. So there it produces a whole visualization, a slide for you with a picture of sales by category. And then also it gives you the information just in text. And then it says, it actually continues. I'm not even asking the next question. It tells me next, I'll delve into subcategories of these categories to understand the sales better. So it's you can see that it's done the categories over there. Now it's going to give me the analysis for subcategories. And it's working in the background. If you click on this green button here, it'll actually show you the work that it's doing. It's using code for that. And there you go. There's your, that actually looks like different regions. And oh, there's sales by state that it's done. So it looks like it's actually skipped the subcategory. And then it's actually gives me a text summary. So it doesn't just give me data. It says the home category leads in overall sales, with women in clothing being on the top. This valuable can be valuable for tailoring marketing strategies. And now, would you like to explore any other data? So then I can tell it focus on Texas and the home category, for instance, and it'll jump in there and just narrow down the sales. So you're drilling down into your analysis and looking for some more information. And there you can see the steps it's going to take. It's going to filter the data, do a subcategory, do a time trend, and then it actually starts doing this whole analysis for you. And as I said, the green button is, if you click on it, you'll see the code that is happening in the background. That's why it used to be called Code Interpreter. And all of that information is then becomes available. So super, super powerful. I'm just going to jump forward. I asked it to calculate the profitability of each category. And then I told it to use the formula sales price minus cost price. And it says, no, actually a sales price minus cost price divided by sales price. So it knows a little bit better than me what formula to use. And it does that calculation for me. And the one thing that I learned in my old days and working in data analysis, people want insights. They don't want just information. And so you can ask, what area of my business should I be focusing on? And it will give me all of that information. And then also the other thing people want to know when you present data to them, they want recommendations. And then it'll even give you some recommendations as well. So for instance, over here, so I'm just skipping along, I would so what I did here is just you can with text actually change the colors of the chart. So if it gives you a boring chart, change the chart to show distinct colors for each category, and boom, there you go, all done. Pretty cool. All right. Let me just see if you guys are still there, still awake. Any comments, suggestions?
So Quentin, I've got a quick question. Would it be possible to do that data analysis, or at least part of it, within the Excel document itself and get your key points and results within the Excel document? Or do you have to outsource it to Copilot or go into ChatGPT itself?
Yeah, I think it depends on which tool you use. Obviously, the advanced analytics tool that's in ChatGPT, you'll have to do there. But what it can do now as well, once it's done, you can actually say, produce a CSV file for me, and you can take that file across to Excel if you want to. The analysis that I showed earlier with Copilot is already inside of Excel, so it's happening inside of your spreadsheet.
Cool. Thank you very much. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, so that's Excel as well as Google Sheets have got that. And again, all of that sort of stuff is not fully baked yet, but it's getting better. This advanced data analytics is mind-boggling. It's fantastic. And you can think about the GPTs that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. If you can build a GPT that refers to or that uses this advanced data analysis, the kind of GPT that you can build, you can get quite creative with that. Anybody else with comments? You guys still there? Are you bored with the spreadsheets? I think it's pretty exciting, actually. I get quite excited about this kind of stuff. Let me just see if there's one or two other things that I could just maybe mention. This, for instance, these are all of the things that advanced data and analytics can do. It can do data manipulation, data cleaning, general insights, apply formulas, automation and scripting, manipulation, work with multiple sheets. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If I just worked with one sheet, you can upload 3 or 4 different spreadsheets, and if they have a consistent sort of what do you call it, a key that works across the different spreadsheets, or even in some cases the AI is smart enough to make the connection between those different spreadsheets. It can analyze data across different spreadsheets. And then it can do a whole bunch of advanced analysis and all a bunch of fancy analysis, visualizations that it can do as well. Now, the next step up in terms of more complexity and in terms of a more specialized tool, because these are kind of general tools to use, but the more specialized tool, you might have heard of Microsoft Power BI, but Power BI has been around for quite a while.
Introducing the next generation of AI in Microsoft.
So it's just wondering if I use the right sharing here. Let me just stop sharing and share again so you can hear the video. Oh, I did. Okay. So this is Power BI, and it's been around for a long time as a very useful analytics tool, and it's now just adding AI in as well. So I'll let them speak.
Microsoft Power BI. Copilot in Power BI empowers your people to unlock the full potential of your data and move from data to insights faster. Now, with Copilot in Power BI, you can use natural language to bring your data to life. Simply describe the visuals and insights you're looking for, and next generation AI will create your report and help you refine it. You can then dig into this data further by asking a question, and Copilot will find the best answer. Not only does Copilot help you visualize your data, but it taps into Power BI's advanced analysis capabilities to help you find key influencers and outliers and create forecasts. Copilot can summarize your data into easy-to-understand text narratives that help others quickly get important and relevant insights. And for analysts who are creating calculations and modeling data, you can simply describe what you want, and the code is automatically generated. With Copilot in Power BI, turning data into impact has never been easier.
Okay, so as I said, that is now a more specialized tool in terms of data analytics. So that's the type of stuff that you need for your business. You go to the next level of Power BI, but still not. I wouldn't say it is sort of beyond what most people can learn. You could probably teach yourself Power BI if you are a good analyst. Right, that's what I got to share. Now it's over to you guys. You guys must tell me where does this fit in? How do we use this stuff?
So I can definitely use the Excel. I mean, I use Excel daily it's quite a constant thing. It's definitely going to make my life easier just doing analytics within there and getting it to build things within there. I mean, the translate option doesn't really apply to my line, but I definitely trying to get it to do all the numbers and the cleaning things up and whatnot. I mean, at the moment, using like Excel's built-in options and a lot of what it already has is just convoluted. I mean, getting AI to do that will be spectacular. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one other note: if you are connecting to OpenAI's API or another API, you know that you pay per data module or whatever on those APIs. So just be careful when if you build a very complex spreadsheet, if you open it up and refresh it again, it's going to re-pull all of that information. Now, I mean, the data is, it's a few cents that they're charging you, but if you do it constantly, you might get a surprise in your bill from OpenAI.
I mean, the total's going to add up. There's going to be a bit of an issue, but thank you for the heads up. I'll definitely keep in mind, just research that. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Good. Anybody else that's got some better tools that's out there in terms of analytics? Brenda, I'm sure you guys use some fancy tools. No? All right. Okay, well then, that's all I've got. Quibus, are you still there? Are you into this stuff, analytics?
Thanks, Quentin. I've got to run.
All right, cool. Okay, Gary. Cheers, eh? All right,
Before you run away, I've just got a quick question for you on a slightly different topic. Have you tried out Meta's AI, and do you have any thoughts on it?
Oh, just the ones that they've pushed into our WhatsApps and our Facebook, and then you've obviously got the standalone tool. It is an open source tool, so it doesn't claim to be as powerful as ChatGPT just yet, but just the fact that it is now inside of your, adjacent to your, where you are talking on Facebook or on WhatsApp, I think a lot of people are going to use it. People are not going to worry, is it as powerful as GPT-4 or as a GPT-3, whatever. It's an AI, and it's right there, right next to your other buttons. It's right next to your search button, and you can use it. So I've pulled a couple of things. In fact, I asked it to create a picture for me in WhatsApp, and it wasn't bad. So I think it's acceptable, the information, but it's going to get pretty good in the next few months. And because it's open source, other people are going to now build on top of it and make it even better as we go. But it's pretty exciting. I also think it's helpful inside of Facebook. And now when I don't know what to say to people, I'll just ask the ChatGPT to respond to posts on Facebook.
Is it possible to get it to respond to messages within things like WhatsApp Business as well, and just create nice graphs within there?
I believe so. I think actually it does. If you're in a certain message, it can read that message. And if you're using WhatsApp for Business, I saw somebody saying that they can actually create responses to clients, or in WhatsApp. And you can build a bot that's been around for a while, where you can use WhatsApp for Business to respond to people. Now you'll probably be able to get the AI to write those responses instead of just standard responses where you just write and it always sends the same message. AI will write sort of a customized message, which might be a bit scary, because if it talks nonsense, or it hallucinates, it could be quite bad.
So hopefully it'll go pretty well. I know I haven't actually tried it out as much as I would like to yet.
Yeah.
It's still pretty new. I know a lot of people got implemented a month ago, a week ago, whatever. Mine just came through now. But I'm keen to see how it goes. I'm a little bit worried about how it will respond. I mean, and just now people think it's coming from you, and the messages are coming from you. Hopefully there's a way to put in like text or something at the bottom, by print. I know this was the right AI.
Yeah, just a disclaimer. This is not me. This is my AI. Yeah, very cool. All right. Okay, everyone. Have a good week. Enjoy.
Awesome. You too.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Quentin. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Uh,